Good day, folks. This is our first impressions on my 3D mouse from Connection. I'm going to cover some of the software that comes with the mouse. It's relatively straightforward to install. When you or during the installation process, you get the option to check for updates online, and I just went with that option, and it's about 117, I think, megabyte download, which was just a matter of minutes now with broadband. So I went with that, and this is what you get, the software side of it. You got this trainer, which I highly recommend everyone use initially. You get this introduction video. I don't know if you'll hear the sound on it. So, you'll notice in the video she mentioned a gentle touch. Now this is the not the problem with the controller or the cap, as she referred to it as. It is very or highly sensitive, however, and you need to be very precise with it. I'm still getting used to it. I'm having a little bit of difficulty with some of the controls. The light pressure is extremely light, yeah. I'm moving the model there with just very slight. I can't show you with I'm using screen capture software at the moment. But I'll maybe do another video with the camera to show you how gently I'm touching the controller to move the model. You can go through these. If you notice up along the top here, we've got the 3D mouse introduction. Then you've got these various tabs which cover different aspects on the use of the controller. Run through them just to get an impression of how to use the controller, and it will help, but it's not so easy in reality to now I've got the controller in use now, looking at this turbine, I think. You can I'm only using the controller, I'm not using the mouse at all. So you can move left or right. Well, I'm trying to move left, and I'm zooming out there. You see, you can go up. Now up is down and down is up. That's rather unintuitive. You can rotate. But say I want to, I'll use the mouse now. Say I want to zoom in on this particular part of the model, yeah. To zoom in, you pull backwards, right? And you can see the central point that I'm zooming in on is not where this part is. So I need to try and position that in the middle of my screen somehow, or where it zooms. So I need to lift the model up and then move it sideways, and it's not easy to do without actually ending up tilting it or rotating it, because it is very sensitive. And then zoom in once you've got it in its centralized location, then readjust again, zoom in some more, readjust again, and keep zooming in like that. You've got to keep readjusting to zoom in on the area that you want to view. And I think I'll get better at it in time, but it's proven to be slightly tricky to manipulate the 3D object quickly. I'm finding that within SketchUp anyway, I'm often repositioning the model or the viewing space using the mouse, and then I end up using both. I'm not relying on the connection completely for its intended functionality. I'm reverting to the mouse, and that's maybe because I'm more accustomed to the mouse. So I'll show you something in SketchUp there now. I'll go back to there, right? So I can rotate. I'm using the 3D mouse now, and I can pan and I can zoom relatively quickly. But some things, like again, I'll revert to the hand mouse. If I wanted to zoom in on this, say, nut here in the back corner, you've got to, with the hand mouse, it's simply a case of rotating your and there I am. I'm in. That's with my mouse wheel. I've got my hold on, deselect. I've got a middle mouse button depression set up as an orbit function, yeah, and then a middle mouse button rotation as a zoom in. So I can quickly pinpoint where I want to zoom. Let's say it's this over here, and I zoom in like that. So I can quickly point using the pointer to where I want to zoom, and then zoom in with a quick mouse wheel movement. If I wanted to zoom in on the other side, it's just a depression of the middle mouse wheel to rotate the object, point to where I want to zoom, and I zoom in. Now that's fast and it's easy. If I now want to zoom in on the opposite side of this nut again using the middle mouse, the 3D mouse, I've got to try and zoom round or rotate round, and then repositioning as I'm going to try and zoom in. And that wasn't too bad, but using oh, now I've lost it, you see. It's sometimes just a little bit too sensitive. Now that might be something to do with the settings, and I don't even know where the model is now. I'm completely lost. So I'll just use the hand mouse again, zoom to get my location back. Yeah, so the 3D mouse is a little bit overly sensitive, possibly. It's got a nice tactile feel though. It is a pleasure to use. It's difficult. The sensation's difficult to describe. But I think with use, I will become more proficient at it. But for the moment, it's going to take a little bit of practice to gain that proficiency. So, was it worth the money? You can get a three button mouse for like 10 quid. Like a USB one or a PS2 one with a 2 buttons and a middle mouse wheel. Yeah. The connection, 3D mouse, Navigator, was in the region of £80. And the introduction video of zooming around buildings easily and smoothly is maybe a little bit misleading. It's not as easy as that unless you're adept in its use. I think I'm going to enjoy using it. It's got a nice, like I mentioned, tactile feel. You can, I'm back to the 3D mouse now. You can manipulate your environment quickly, but it's difficult to get the accuracy using it. But let's say, I've been quite negative about the 3D mouse in some ways. If I wanted to pan the image now, though, using the mouse, the mouse, I've got the orbit functionality, and I can zoom in and out. The orbit is middle mouse button depression. The left click is selection, and the right click, I believe, is deselect. Yeah. I can't remember if I've even got anything set up for the right click on the mouse. But say I wanted to pan, I can orbit with the middle mouse button and zoom in and out with the middle mouse button. But if I wanted to pan, I'd have to select pan and then drag the model up. And then I needed to go back to say selection tool. I'd have to click the selection tool. So I'm moving the mouse pointer all over the screen to select different controls. Now I'll still have to do that, obviously, in my drawing. If I wanted to move the object, I'd have to select the move tool or whatever. But if I'm using the 3D mouse, I don't need to, it covers all this sort of movement controls. I can go up or down. Well, that's okay, that is moving the model up, but your camera is actually moving down. Okay, so I don't have the model selected. The model isn't moving. All I'm moving is the camera. So I can move the camera up, which is, you do that by pressing down, or I can move the camera down by pulling the controller up. Right. I think I'll maybe try and check the settings on that and reverse it, because I don't find that very intuitive at all. Rotation, obviously, that's like the orbit on the mouse, the standard mouse. Then you can tilt the camera down by pushing it forward. So that's tilting, well, it's tilting the camera upwards actually by pushing it forward, and tilting the camera down by pulling it back. I would have been more inclined to have it set so you pull it back like the joystick, like a joystick in a aircraft, to rise up, and push it forward to point it downwards. That would have been a sort of control that I would have been familiar with. So the controls on the 3D mouse seem to be a little bit back to front. Go left, you push right. To go right, you push left. So yeah, that's maybe part of the problem I'm having. So yeah, well, I'll not take up any more of your time, people. That's just my first impressions of the use of the 3D mouse and how it functions, and the software that was installed in the package. So I hope you found that useful, and until next time, hope you're well and you've enjoyed the video. Bye for now.